Hey boys and girls. So today I learned that Peter Hook actually formed a new tribute band called Peter Hook and the Light. Now, if you don't know who Peter Hook is, he was the bass player for New Order and Joy Division. If you don't know who those bands are, at that point I would say look them up. I guess in 2010, sometime in 2010, Peter Hook actually formed this particular tribute band for his own previous band, which is kind of amazing to me. But it basically gave me something new to record onto cassettes, because as we all know, us tape heads love finding new materials and good materials to put on cassettes. Like Tony is awesome from Cassette Comeback, where he actually put new music on cassettes as well. But I personally like putting older songs on cassettes. Although, I'll be honest, let me see if I can show you some of the other tapes I made. Since these were new tapes here, I'm going to take that out now. Remember these guys? Recording the masters and the capture tape, which by the way, it's already in the cassette player, so I don't have the tape on here. I recorded newer albums on here, like for example, this one was Phoenix, which is a band in 2000, and same for MGMT, which is also a band sometime in 2000. You know, because these are brand new tapes, so kind of wanted them on there. Now, Peter Hook's band is relatively new, you know, so he's covering all of the stuff. But at the same time, it's not like, you know, new songs or anything, so it's kind of weird. So today, I think I'm going to put him on this. Now, it's a 3 CD set. When his album came out, which totals to about an hour and a half of music. And I'm sorry, 2 hours and a half. 2.5 hours of music, not an hour and a half, I'm sorry. So they would fit on a 90-minute and a 60-minute cassette. And so I decided, well, let's just use some of the newer TDK Ds that I have, because I bought a bunch of these. These, to me, are the best bang for the buck Type 1 cassettes. And yes, I collect cassettes. I have a bunch of different higher end cassettes and stuff like that. But I told myself that TDK Ds are going to be my bread and butter, as well as Maxell URs and Sony HFs if I can find a bunch of those. But these were more abundant to buy, much cheaper. And I think outperforms Maxell URs and Sony HFs. So I'm going to put it on these. Now, these are actually 2 different years. This one is 1992, but you guys can already see, and I've already opened this one up before, so I'm going to open this up again too. No fanfare and no reason waiting, because you guys seen this before. And you've seen this tape before. Same, you know, the shell that you guys are all familiar with. No screws, but TDK hubs. And the shell, of course, nothing new. This was, by the way, 1992, and I think it spanned up from 1992 to 1997. So they didn't change the design for a good while. This one, I believe, is in 2000. Yeah, I think this came out in 2000, I believe. I'll put it down on the, you know, caption it later. But anyways, I believe this is 2000 to 2001, somewhere around that time period. And of course, because I know that in 2003 or so, there's another design. So, second to last, I believe? I don't recall. But anyways, without further ado, I'm going to open that one up and show off that one. This I'll link to another video of mine where I actually got more in depth opening it up. However, we can definitely record on this and this just to see if they perform the same. But I do believe they will, because if you look through the packaging, I think a lot of it looks similar, and I don't think they really changed much at all. So here we go. Assembled in Thailand. The tape is still made in Japan, so that's cool. It's a very late model. And the case is pretty similar too. It's it's a much shorter base, you know, just like this one. Typically it's a little higher. As you can see, it's so low that it doesn't even cover the bottom part of that cassette. But other than that, I mean, the design, like the actual imprinting, is different, right? Sorry for the glare. Let me move this around. That's why I like having a chair. Okay, so there you go. Of course, you can even see like where the design lines are, the creases are in the same spot. So let's actually take the tape out so you can see a lot better. I mean, yeah, they didn't change anything between these 2 years, other than the print design. They are the same. Even got the production numbers. It looks like they did change the pressure pad though. Oh, and they did remove they removed the metallic shield on the bottom, or the metal shield on the bottom. So this is when they started even cheaping out even more. So probably along the lines of Maxell UR, and they were just kind of following their steps. So it isn't fair to compare tape pack size, since this is a 90 and this is a 60. Although, because it does look like less tape, like physically less tape, I'm guessing they use C90 tape on here, because if you use real C60 tapes, the pack size would be about the same as the 90, because it would be thicker tape, you know, compared to the C90s. I do have natural sunlight above me. So the new one's up top. And to my eyes, they're exactly the same. Color's the same. Calendaring is the same, both very shiny tapes. Very reflective tapes too. I don't think they're gonna perform any different, and that's a good thing, because TDKDs actually do take a higher level than you would expect for your budget ferric type 1 cassette. So let's see if they still do, and if they take the same level for each as well. Oh, and I almost forgot. What about the J cards and the labels? Here's the older one. Here's the 92. There's really nothing much to show there. Got the warranty, that's about it. There you go. This is, since you guys seen this before, this is more like a recap. And it looks like the only difference is they changed the color. Huh. Well, actually, no, it's just smaller. Yep, it's smaller. I mean, the label itself is the same size, but, you know, the card that they came in is smaller. This is red, this is purple. Same kind of limited warranty imprinting on here. The printing is physically smaller on the smaller card to fit everything in there. I'm not going to read everything verbatim word by word, but I'm pretty sure they're basically the same. So J card wise, slightly different design. Although I kind of like this better. It has a more nostalgic feel to it. And also this part where it says IEC Type 1. More nostalgic than this high output, which has a little 3D design to it. I feel like this one is a thinner paper, but it's glossier, almost like, and it's like a magazine paper, really. It's shinier, it's glossy, but it's thinner. Whereas this one, it's more cardboard-like, especially in the back, so you can write on it. It has more of a texture like plain paper, or cardboard, really. It's thicker. Kind of like a birthday card. But then, of course, on this side is a little smoother, a little more glossier. Still, you can write on it, but if you use a ballpoint pen or something, it might smudge unless you let it dry a little longer. I always suggest using like fine tip marker, kind of like a Sharpie. The 1992 versus 2000, 2001, I believe. So, and then we'll go to the deck next. All right, guys. So here is my trusty Nakamichi ZX7. You guys already seen this before. Let's calibrate the first cassette, which is a 1992 TDK D. All right. So we know this is now perfectly calibrated to this tape, this deck. So now let's go for the 2001. There is a 8-year difference between these two tapes, and yet they look almost identical. All right, azimuth. Let's azimuth is different on this tape, but that's okay. That doesn't mean the bias is going to be different. We just want to make sure the azimuth is good. Well, I guess there is a difference in formulation. Very slight. So, let's stop this for a bit and talk about this. The fact is that this tape is more sensitive than the older one. So TDK was definitely improving on their formulation. What this means is that this one should take levels or more details, I guess. I'm not exactly an engineer, so I don't know if it's the whole mold, soul, all that good stuff, but sensitive tape is a good thing. But also means the bias, it needs a little more bias. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but let's continue. Again, needs more biasing, but check out the level. Because we had to turn on the level, the bias needs even more. So the formulation is definitely different, slightly. But it's going to be enough to sound a little different. It's not going to be massive though. But what this means is what I'm hoping for then is that this tape is going to be able to take higher levels. 2001 can take more level than, I'm hoping it'll take more level than the 1992 version. Of course, since I've already calibrated for the other tape, let's see what it looks like for this tape now. And I'll readjust the azimuth. Yep. Interesting that the level is about the same. Actually needs a little bit more. But the bias, yeah, this one needs less bias. All right, let's see what that actually means as far as sound quality goes. Let's go ahead and record now. I got it calibrated. That's the hiss. This is a direct line in. why I told it to repeat the track. I'm pretty satisfied with that. Let's the new one up, leaving the levels as is. All right, so it seems like it doesn't take that much more level than the 92 version, but it does seem to me that it's a little bit clear, which means there's a little bit more headroom than the, the 1992 version. So that little slight change just makes it sound a little clearer. Now, understandably, if I were to lower the level just slightly, this will probably sound like, there will probably be no distortion versus this one, which already seems like it doesn't barely have any distortion at the same level. I guess technically this one probably does take a little more, level. It's not by much though. Seriously, if you're looking for new tapes to play with, and I wouldn't say new tape, but like new old stock, you don't have to go too old. Get yourself, very late TDK Model Ds, and you should be very happy with the performance. That's it. You guys, have a good night.